had no idea what I was getting into whatsoever. It just happened, and then it was a whirlwind of a life from that moment forward. I don't think that's it for me. I knew that I was made for more. I have this platform because of my fame. I need to use it more actively for what my purpose is really calling me for. I really felt like I need to be completely honest, showing the most vulnerable parts of my life. We're all dealing with the same bullshit. Tell the truth. I was so depressed. They saw me struggle. They saw me fail. They saw me fall down. Most importantly, though, they saw me get back up.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it taught me to love myself. When you fully love yourself, you don't need approval or love from other people. You can say to yourself in the mirror, I love you. I love you. Once you start connecting with yourself on that deep kind of level, shift will happen. Change will come.
Welcome to Cake for Dinner. This is not your everyday mom podcast. We laugh, we curse, we tell the truth, and we're here to ditch the perfection culture. My guest today is Jennie Garth. Most people know her from Beverly Hills 90210, but today I want to talk about the woman behind the fame. Her new book, I Choose Me, is a raw and honest look at losing yourself, finding yourself again, and what it means to choose yourself in midlife. Jennie Garth, welcome to Cake for Dinner.
Yay, I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, I am so glad you're here. So before we jump into the book, I have to ask a few 90210 questions because when I told people you were coming on, my inbox blew up and I didn't have these questions. So I've got a lot of people, so I only put 3 on here. How old were you when you landed 90210, and did you have any idea that how much it was going to change your life, that it was going to be this massive success?
Oh my gosh. Well, I think I was 17. Well, I have to do the math and I can't do that right now. But it was 1990. So
Wow.
if somebody out there wants to do the math, go for it. But yeah, I had no idea what I was getting into whatsoever. I was very green, as they call it, in the business. And I had I think 2 or 3 other jobs, and then this came along, this opportunity.
Okay.
And I got the job, it's just one of those things where you're the right person at the right time. And so, yeah, it just happened. And then it was a whirlwind of a life from that moment forward.
How quick did it go from the show starting to being really like in the limelight?
The first season of the show didn't take off. And this is, let me just say before, this was when there were 4 networks.
Okay.
There was no streaming, there was no binge watching of anything. It was appointment television. You had to be there. And we were on a little network called Fox, and not a lot of people got Fox still at that time.
Okay.
So it was very hard to get our audience.
Okay.
And then we started airing episodes during the summer when the other networks were all playing reruns. That's how it used to be. You only got the new shows during, certain months.
Okay.
And that's what made the show sort of catapult, because the kids were home from school. They got to watch the show. They got to invest in the characters, and they were in at that
I
point.
can't even remember like at what stage. I do know I was a freshman in college. I can remember being in my friend's dorm room and we were just like enamored by it. But I don't know what season that was, or I'm 52. So, I mean, I feel like it was like pretty close to the beginning.
Right. I mean, yeah, it was probably, I'm 54 and I was, 17 when we were making it. Right. So in 1990, whatever year you were in, I hear that all the time about people in their dorms, or they come together in like the community room or the sorority. And it used to be a big like appointment for everybody to get together.
It just creates this like really nostalgic feeling. I've had Dr. Mary Claire Haver on and some like amazing founders, but when I say that I'm having you on, it just brings people back to, I think, a time. It's so exciting for people.
It is. I'm so happy to be able to provide that to people.
Yes.
Because I'm very proud of the show. I'm very proud of its legacy, and its impact on, television history. And I think that, our fans are incredibly so loyal. Yes. And because I'll tell you this, I'd never watched the show before because I was making it and then I had kids and I was just I didn't want to watch it, honestly. Like,
Right.
I don't like to watch my work back.
Right.
But so I never really understood why people loved it so much. And recently, I do a podcast called 9021 OMG, where we rewatch every episode.
Okay.
So I'm watching things for the first time, and I'm a super fan. Like, I get it now.
Well, there's so many relationship dynamics. Also, I don't have any of this written down, but you as a character specifically went through like real shit. And I feel like
lot of
as
it.
young women, we were watching some of our lives play out, which wasn't really happening a lot on TV at that
Yeah, there ain't no teen representation
Right.
at that time.
And you were it. So we were like, oh, you know.
Yeah, I know. I hear that a lot from people like women now that were girls then who um, could see themselves in the character and what she was dealing with. Also, I hear conversations from women that are older that watch the show with their kids. And it really opened up the conversations of things that they would normally be uncomfortable talking about, or the kids wouldn't be so, open to.
And there was heavy stuff, like
Heavy
like
stuff.
drug addiction.
Yeah.
Like, were you
Like
addicted to
sexual
drugs on there?
abuse and drugs and
Yeah.
cults, and she got shot.
One person, like you went through everything. Like, I feel like they were gonna run out of problems to have.
Heck of it.
Which cast members are you still close with today?
All of them. We all love
Amazing.
getting together. We are sadly minus two of our beloved cast members at this point. But we all still get together. We have a group chat,
So cool.
So, it's like I always say there's an invisible string that kind of holds us all together. We were very close for 10 years. Then we all went our separate ways and had our families and our lives. And we've been able to come back together for, opportunities where we do conventions for fans or different things like that. So it's been really cool to circle back on all those relationships and still know that you're never getting rid of me. We're going to be your friends forever, whether you like it.
You made those friends in such formative years, So
And still, like, in this pressure cooker,
but we were all eyes, kind of understand.
yeah. So we have a lot in common.
Your kids think you're as cool as the fans do?
My kids do. I don't know about other kids, but yeah, my kids, they think it's really cool.
That's so cool. And one of your daughters works with you, right?
Well, yes, one of my daughters works full time with me, and my oldest daughter works to produce my women's summit every year.
Oh, I love that. Super cool. Their last question. Looking back now, what did becoming famous that young give you, and what did it cost you?
Oh my goodness. It gave me a life, honestly, like a life that I never would have lived if I hadn't, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you probably. And things would have gone so differently. So I have nothing but gratitude for it. What did it cost me? Of course, it cost me privacy.
Yeah.
And I think there was a lot of me having to figure out how to navigate this new lifestyle of being in the public, because I'm from Illinois, rural Illinois, from a farm, and nobody I know was famous. None of my family, nobody I've ever knew as a young person. So this was all sort of uncharted territory. So I was doing a lot of figuring it out as I was
On the fly. Right. Yeah. I imagine. Exciting, but also like overwhelming, I think.
Yeah. Definitely.
So now to the book, which I really loved the book. I mean, I just sort of say I'm in that sort of stage myself. And I met you at Mom 2.0. And I think that so many women our age are in this place of like choosing themselves or trying to choose themselves. And I feel like this book is really speaks to all the things that I'm trying to emphasize on the podcast.
Oh, good.
Which is like really, really, really cool and special for so many women. So your book is called I Choose Me. What was the wake-up call that made you realize it was time to start choosing yourself differently?
I have to say it was turning 50. Realizing that my girls didn't need me the way they had always needed me, because I had spent my entire adult life to that point momming.
Right.
I had my daughter, first daughter very young. And then the two other ones came, 5 and 4 years apart. And so I was either constantly pregnant or constantly just taking care of a baby, like, or trying to raise girls in this crazy world.
Yeah.
And so I didn't, I never really had the opportunity to focus on what I wanted because I was sort of lucky and got this acting gig. It wasn't something I set out to be an actress. I was just in the right place at the right time and very fortunate. And then I grew to love it and learn it and become a professional. But I think that it was it wasn't until I was 50 that I really had the opportunity because I was kind of stuck.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wait, what now? They don't need me.
All your estrogens left the building.
I got no estrogen. I had to go figure that out, by the way. And then yeah, I just was like, what's my purpose? I don't get it. Like I know that I've entertained people and given them an escape or helped them express their feelings through my work.
What about me?
But yeah, like I don't know. I don't think that's it for me. That's what I was thinking. So I really had to like hunker down and think about what I wanted and what felt like I could pull like my passion for, because I just didn't. I was at the place too where I don't want to just do another movie. I don't find that process fulfilling any longer. And I just knew I knew that I was made for more. And I had always heard from a young age, both my parents were teachers.
Okay.
And I had heard very young, actually, my mom got my astrology chart done, and I believed every word of it, of course. And I still believe in it. But it said that my birth sign was here to spread messages and help other people. And I thought, well, I have this platform because of my fame. I need to use it more actively for what my purpose is really calling me for.
I really feel like this is so amazing. Like, I just feel like so many women at this age are trying to figure that exact thing out. And not just the book, but just your delivery. Like, you really are giving us the permission to do so. And I think it's so important. I'm grateful that you've chosen to do this with your platform.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's remarkable, like how many women I come across who just have never even thought of choosing themselves or thought that was an impossibility.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like an option, it really doesn't.
No, it feels like if there's time, I'll get a haircut.
Yeah, I always say, like, I'm just working on putting myself on the list.
Yeah, getting on
I just didn't write out my own list.
Yeah, you gotta put yourself on the top.
Yeah.
And our children are adults now. They're on their own. They understand that it's our time now.
I still have a 12-year-old.
Okay.
And he doesn't give a one shit about like that. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Yeah. Thank goodness he's as cute as he could be. But yeah, it is. What I'm also learning, though, is that by choosing me, even during that raising him, it's teaching him that my time is valuable. Like with the twins, I was a single mom when they were really little. Like, I don't think there was time to choose myself. Like, maybe somebody else could have figured that out.
Really
but
hard.
It did not feel like an option. But I think more women are seeing this now. I kind of wish I would have saw it a little earlier, but I feel like it's kind of like a movement right now.
Absolutely.
Like, you are really on time with this book because it's like happening.
The menopause movement was happening right at the same time that this was all coming to me. And I started writing the book. So I knew that women were hungry for more knowledge, more connection, and just information, because we never talked about menopause before. And now we're talking about it. So my children, my husband knows more about menopause than they ever would have. And they need to know.
They need to know. My 12-year-old knows what menopause is now, which is hysterical because he hears me talking about it all the time.
I mean, yeah, but they used to think it was something terrible or like, oh, it meant mom's old. And what are we going to do?
I had Dr. Mary Claire Haver on too. And I heard you say something about having her on that menopause was a day. Well, it's wild. I mean, and how much she talks about how behind women's health is just
But it's
Mind-blowing.
yeah, it's crazy.
Yes.
And to see, the menopause movement and the self-love movement and this, wanting to take better care of ourselves mentally and physically, there is more funding happening. And that's why we are all out there using our voices to raise awareness of the fact that we need this.
Yes.
And when you do, when you realize that it hasn't been on any doctor's priority list, that is really upsetting because we're half the population.
Right.
Also, I mean, arguably the most important part
Yeah.
of the
Definitely
population.
the cutest.
Definitely the cutest.
But yeah, it's just that part is wild. And that, women now, we're doing so much more at this age though, and I'm finding I don't know that I gave it a lot of thought, to be honest, but this is the most exciting stage of my life. Right, I feel so, I mean, the estrogen leaving and the skin melting isn't my
The
favorite.
gravity happening.
But the perspective, the gratitude, just the joy is so much different. I think in your 30s, you're striving, trying to fit or get somewhere. This feels a little more like putting your feet up. I'm still hustling, but it feels maybe like an emotional rest. I'm not sure.
It's just less exhausting. There's less fighting mentally within our own minds, I think, at a certain point. Definitely more, I don't give a shit what anybody else thinks. That's very helpful.
Yeah.
Because you spend less time sort of ruminating on all of that unnecessary stuff. And also just seeing the strength in other women in your same situation now that we have these platforms that connect us
Yeah.
and the information, it has made this time in women's lives so much more recognized and celebrated.
Yes. I part of the podcast and part of the whole point to this is that I really wanted to sort of uncover, get rid of this perfection culture, or this idea that we're supposed to, not age, or we're supposed to be a certain way. I felt very inadequate in the mom space when I was younger. I think I'm an alcoholic, so I'm sober for 24 years. And I think, thank you. But at that stage, I just kind of felt they could see it. You know what I mean? And now looking back, I wish I didn't worry so much. But my point is, I really want younger moms coming up to have more freedom in just, we're all doing our best. Nobody's got it quite figured out,
Yeah, I used to just spend way too much time worrying if I was doing it well enough, or like Susie over there, carpooling.
And then as soon as that fucking carpool lane, I literally I have a literal chapter in the book, the carpool. That carpool lane tortured me. I was always pulling around. I was a single mom, shit was falling out of the car, and I felt like they could all see me. Yeah, what a wreck. You're less than a wreck. And meanwhile, I was a single mom busting my ass trying to get all the way to Miami, an hour from my house to work. I had to provide. And so that didn't dawn on me that maybe it looked like that, maybe I was in a hurry to work and provide. I was just sure they could see what a wreck I was. So if I could go back, I would worry much less. But going forward, I'm hoping that by us talking about the reality of our real lives, that we share that stuff and it helps younger women. Were you at all worried or anxious about putting some of the details in the book?
Yeah.
Because it's great and it's good, we're helping, but, did you ever have pause, "Oh."
I did, but in order to write the book, I really felt like I need to be completely honest. And that meant not glossing over things and showing the most vulnerable parts of my life, because we're all experiencing those.
Yeah.
And I really wanted people to see that no matter what, we're all the same. We're all dealing with the same bullshit. And when you see someone else walk through it and survive it and then flourish, that is meant to motivate and inspire other people who are in it,
Yes.
And I felt, my husband was very supportive, because I would say, oh my gosh, should I write about my rehab? Should I write about, my struggles with giving up the girls every other week? And, but he just was very encouraging. He's like, tell the truth, So, and it's my truth, whether it's anybody else's truth, that's up to them.
Yeah, it's a tough thing. I'm actually just finished my book.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I have had a lot of pause moments because, as a sober woman, I don't think you get sober without having a little bit of a past, right? So, and it's not all buttoned up. But telling some of that was hard, and I'm by no means famous. So, like, who knows who's going to read it? Yours is really out there. So as I was reading your book, I thought about that, like how brave it is of you, because ultimately, when people read it, they do see themselves. And I think that's special. And for people to be out and, giving the glossy version, I just don't think it's as helpful.
It's not helpful.
It's almost harmful.
It is almost harmful. Like, it's so curated and
Yes.
there's the best pictures of me and
Yes.
everything. It makes us feel inferior when we're
Yes.
looking at it. And I feel that way too.
Right.
I actively stop myself from scrolling now. Like I do my, connections on platforms, but then I'm like, whoa, put it down.
Enough.
'Cause
Yeah.
it's not, you're feeling bad right now.
Right.
You're comparing. They say
Yes.
compare despair, and it's so true.
Yes.
But yeah, it was definitely a scary thing to be so. And when you're intimately writing a book and it's just you and the
Mhm.
computer and the thoughts, it's hard to like kind of step back and think when this comes out, everybody's going to know what's everything.
I had a moment like that the other day because I downloaded it into this app that reads to you. First of all, I was bawling, like hearing your life is, and I have some similar stuff as you, and you're like thinking, wow, like I've really been through it, but also hearing it and realizing other people are going to hear it like this, like the details. It is wild.
I mean, that's what it's all about. That's what connecting and sharing what we've learned is all about. And I think that that's, one of the most important things we can do as a female community.
I agree. And somebody's got to go first. So
Somebody's got to tell their dirty secrets first.
I was glad to read yours. I was like, okay, I'll put mine out there.
I have more. Maybe there's another book in me.
You write, I lost sight of the parts of myself I actually loved. What were the first parts of Jennie that you had to rediscover?
That I like to sit still sometimes, that I like to listen to music, that I love being outside and just tootling around, watering things and clipping trees and, doing landscaping. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that. I love to read. I'd forgotten about that or just never made the time for myself. Even still to this day, I keep a book by my bed in hopes that I'll read it a couple chapters here and there. But it's hard to make the time for all the things,
Yes.
But it's about, I realize that I have to put it on my calendar. I have to like section out me time. I section out workout time. I remind myself to prep food. I remind myself what time to leave for appointments so I'm not late. Like I actually set a reminder for pretty much everything.
We have to now. The brain fog is real.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's something to
Talking
deal
to
with.
Dr. Mary Claire Haber, that's such a long name. To her really did make me feel better though. Like it's all just part of the thing. I mean, it's just happening.
I know. I think that for me, when I started to have brain fog, I thought, oh God, I'm getting dementia. Yeah, I'm gonna get Alzheimer's. Yeah, I have a history of it in my family.
Me
I
too.
panicked. And so that just set me off on this like just inquiry of information about brain health and longevity and all the things that we do need to be considering, because if we don't know about it, we're not thinking about it.
You are thinking about different shit in your 50s. Let me say that. I actually had on a dementia specialist, and they said the number one, it was either one or two, risk factor for dementia is hearing loss, which I never would have thought of. But you start to have hearing loss, and I guess your brain isn't responding the same.
What? Just kidding.
So I believe there's so much that we just don't even know, but like menopause, nobody knew anything until I feel like.
And there's like so much to learn about it. So many things that we can do to prevent.
Yeah.
So of course, correct our brain's unhealthy.
And there's 9,000 peptides that you could take that don't knows what's going to happen.
I don't even know. I haven't even entered into the peptide conversation because I'm overwhelmed by it.
I want to have someone on, but I want to be like, okay, I need like charts and graphs and like break it down for like a fourth grader.
Data.
Because everyone's all much. Yes, I want the data. There's so much. And there's so much information now.
Everybody has a different story. I'm taking the 4-5-3. I'm what? What are you talking about?
And also, like, how is it really gonna like am I gonna look really?
And also, is it good for you long term? Nobody knows.
Yes, like the cold plunge was amazing, and now they're like, maybe it's not good for people in menopause.
Right, not good for women.
I bought one. I mean, they're fucking suffering. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, but it's the same thing with parenting techniques. I have a chapter called Parenting Techniques Gone Wild, because it's like, you should let your kid cry it out. And then 10 years later, that's giving them anxiety. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, no matter what, things are changing so rapidly that you really have to do your own research and decide what is super important to you.
Right. And give yourself grace.
Yes.
Like, because, there's a lot of information out there.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of tips and tricks and hacks. You see them all day, every day on there. And it's like, wait, what? I'm not doing any of this. I'm failing at life. Like, should I do that one or this one? Or does this really work?
Yeah.
I never did the cold plunge because I hate cold water. I did a polar plunge once in Alaska. That'll be that for me.
Thoughtful. I hope people love it.
I'm like, I love myself, but not enough to go into ice water.
Yeah, like even I was at the salon the other day and they're like, do you want a cold rinse? I'm like, my whole fucking life's been a cold rinse. Like, unless I'm going to look like 10 years hotter when I leave. No, I just like the nice warm water.
I know.
Like, why are we all torturing ourselves? Like, it has to have a huge impact for me to do that. One of the lines that hit me the hardest in the book was, I was in pieces, but I still had to raise my girls. What did this season teach you about motherhood? I feel like, especially single moms, but really all moms, that when you are going through something difficult, you still have to be a parent.
Yeah, it's hard.
I feel like it's the hardest thing.
It's the hardest thing because I'm also a person that wears their emotions on my sleeve. Like, I'm unable to like hide when I'm upset or sad. And I was sad. I was so depressed. And they felt it. They could see it. They knew. And that made me feel even worse.
Right.
And it made me feel so bad about myself and so bad for them, the things that I was going through and thinking and spending my time dealing with. You know, I know I was, if there's anything I know I was a good mom. I know I'm a good mom. Was I the best? No. Do I need to be the best? No. My girls appreciated the fact that maybe not in the moment, but looking back, I think they appreciate the fact that they saw me struggle. They saw me fail. They saw me fall down. Most importantly, though, they saw me get back up.
Yeah.
And I know that each of them would say that they're so proud of me. And I think that kind of like takes over as adult brains develop. That part takes away all that like sadness that they saw. I mean, it's probably still in there for them to work through when they're adults.
But I feel like that's really what it's all about, though. Like, I mean, I don't know, having everything be perfect or buttoned up. I don't know how much you learn from that. Like, watching your mom rise is, I mean, that's invaluable.
Yeah.
Because later you have to rise.
You will have
and
to
if you
rise.
haven't seen it.
Yeah, you don't know how to do it.
Yes.
And you don't know that it's a possibility.
Yes. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if there's certainly things that I wish didn't happen in my life. My children's father died of a drug overdose when they were 2.5. And, you know, they were little, but I was a wreck, you know, and then I had to parent by myself. And there were times where it was super tough, you know, my electricity would get turned off. I mean, it was a mess, you know, but I actually write it in the book. There was one morning I was driving them to school and I had to get all the way to Miami to work. And it was just a lot. And my daughter was in the back seat. I don't know, maybe they were like 6 or something. And she had a bloody nose. And I was like, oh my gosh, because I had this huge presentation to give in Miami. And like, we just didn't have time for a bloody nose, you know? And we pulled over at Dunkin' Donuts. We ran into the bathroom. I stuck tissues. I pulled her little plaid uniform off, turned it inside out, put it back on. We got back in the car. No one said a word. The twins are just, back there. We get to the drop off. She pulls the tissues out, hands them to me, and just hops out of the car. And I was like, holy shit, she's going to know how to rise. Do you know what I mean?
Resilience.
That's resilience.
Mhm.
And it wasn't like, and she's not an easy kid. She's never been an easy kid. But in that moment, she knew the assignment.
Mhm.
And I think that is something that we teach our daughters. I do.
Absolutely.
I really, really do.
Absolutely. And I love teaching them that I am enough, like as a woman. It's great to have a male partner. It's great to, have that companionship for as we grow older, but we don't need it.
Right.
You are enough on your own
Mm-hmm.
and you can handle anything. My parents used to tell me that there's nothing you can't do if you put your mind to it. And I just grew up believing that. And now, like any task or, problem that arises, whether it's at home or in business,
Mm-hmm.
I know I can handle it. Like I know I don't need to go drown myself in the deep end
Right.
because that's only going to prolong the pain.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to try to deal with things right as they come up now and not waste any of my precious time
Mm-hmm.
suffering.
Yeah, it's like, you might not enjoy it, but you can do it. And I also think that is the product from rising.
Yeah.
I mean, once you've done it,
Once you've done it, once you've lived
you
through
know
the
it's
tough times.
possible, and
Yeah.
that can be your barometer. I mean, I'm hoping not to go through anything else.
No, me too.
I feel I've grown as much as I need to. Do you know what I mean?
I know sometimes my husband and I will tell each other, I'm so tired of evolving. It's exhausting.
Yes.
But we're both living happier lives because of it. And I think I'm 9 years older than my husband. And he inevitably has had to kind of keep up with me on certain levels, certainly like emotional needs and, stuff like that. And I think that he's beyond his years now. Whereas when I met him, he was 32.
And that's for a guy. That's
Like 21.
yes. Yes. I was so glad you guys got back together because even in the book, the way you write it before you broke up was like he was like the love of your life. And it was like, I literally was reading it on my porch. I'm like, oh my gosh, no, like I thought this one was going to work out.
Oh my God, that was so hard and I thought, I am a full-on failure at love. If, I cannot keep a relationship. And at that point, when we separated for a year and the divorce papers were ready to sign, I had done a lot of work during that year and I got because I did that before with my divorce. And I don't think I fully got back to myself. And then when I took that time off in the separation from Dave, I really had the opportunity and the deep desire to figure my shit out.
Yeah. Well, you get to a point where you realize that without figuring your shit out, you're going to be unhappy.
Yeah. And I was tired of being, I couldn't find happy. I couldn't find joy. No matter what was happening or how privileged and wonderful our lives were. I was like, what's wrong with me?
Right.
And I was tired of feeling that way.
I think too, people that are privileged or are famous, it's even more confusing because I think I would imagine you would tell yourself, I should be happy. I have all these things. But that's just at the end of the day, not what it's about. It's such an inside job.
I mean, not that it comes down to money for me, but they always say more money, more problems. And that is true. It would be great to just escape to an island where I didn't have a phone and no responsibilities.
Yes.
And just, be. That would be amazing.
Well, if you're going, take me. 'Cause I need a vacation. You've been through heartbreak, divorce, and starting over. What's something those experiences taught you that you couldn't have learned any other way?
Ultimately, it taught me to love myself because loving myself was the only thing that I could maintain, I could control. When you fully love yourself, you don't need approval or love from other people. And they always say, oh, you can't truly love someone else until you love yourself. And I would roll my eyes at that and be like, of course I love myself. That's ridiculous.
Right.
But I never really understood how deep that really is.
And you weren't treating yourself like you loved yourself.
No, I was so busy treating everybody else, especially solely my daughters, my parents, my, husband at times. But I was so focused on them that there was just no room for loving myself. And I get that for young moms,
Yes.
and my heart goes out to them. But there is a world in which you can take care of yourself better,
Right.
and be the best mom.
The only problem is I feel like it's hard-earned wisdom, it's like I'm sure somebody told us that when we were in it, it's like you can't quite grasp it until you're almost till you really need it.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe people will have an easier journey than we had, but I couldn't get there until I desperately needed
Yeah, until you were so fed up with this feeling
Yes.
that you had no choice. It
Mm-hmm.
was either end your life or get better.
Yeah.
That for me was
I chose drunk, which was somewhere in the middle.
right. That's like numbing
Yeah.
everything. And I get that because I tried all of that too.
On that point, you write honestly about examining your relationship with alcohol. What did you learn about yourself when you stopped using alcohol to cope?
Mm-hmm. Well, I thought if I didn't drink, I would be boring, which I am.
But boring is great.
I love boring, but I don't need all that. I
Do you want a fan?
That's so hot. Maybe I'm flashing. I don't know.
This is a menopause K-Cow Center. We're just going to pause for a moment for the pause.
It's so crazy. You go I'm postmenopausal now,
So am I.
and I still occasionally will get hot AF. I'm like,
Yeah.
is this still happening?
And you can't get out of it. It's like a furnace it's from within. Oh, it's like
So fun, so fun. But what was I saying?
alcohol.
Alcohol. Yeah, I just reached a point where I knew that this wasn't helping me anymore. It wasn't helping me be the best person that I so desired to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I also was losing sleep. And you reach a point in your life
Where that matters.
so sleep is a number one. And I did not like losing my sleep, and I did not like the feeling
Losing sleep because you were anxious
just
about
of the alcohol being in me, that toxic liquid being in my body.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next morning not feeling good and being hazy and just I can't show up for myself or for others if I'm under substance control,
Right. Do you consider yourself sober or alcoholic, or you just don't drink because doesn't serve you well?
Would have to say I'm not an alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to say I am sober,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a choice. It's not, it was never like I had to do it.
Right.
I had to do it for myself.
Is that kind of why you didn't like being in the rehab? I mean, I don't think anyone likes being in rehab, but you just it didn't resonate with you.
Yeah, it didn't really work for me, and it felt like I could have grown more in a different environment.
Yeah.
So I was able to remove myself from that and go and do the right one, like individual care.
And does your husband drink? Do you care about any of that? It's just a choice you've made personally, and you...
Well, actually, he was the first one to stop drinking.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And he is sober.
Okay.
So
it's just part of your lifestyle.
It's just, and it's so much easier when you can both be in the same place. And so many people are sober now.
Especially here.
Oh, yeah.
It's my son is 19 and he's 1 year sober now. So we've had a little hard time,
Well, for him.
Yeah, and he's living in LA. There's a sober living here in Venice.
Great.
And I'm like, you're so lucky because so many people are sober that it's not sober the way you are, sober because they have to be. It's just when I got sober at 27, it was like Ben Affleck and that was it. And my mom
nobody was.
Yeah, my mom cut a picture out of People magazine of Ben Affleck. I'll never forget. And she was like, look. And I hung on to it for dear life because I was embarrassed about being sober. It was weird.
Now
nobody else was sober.
Something to be proud of. I
It's
feel
now it's almost popular.
Once you can get yourself out of the grips of something.
Yes.
You feel like I can do anything.
Yes. And it's almost cool now to be healthy.
Yeah.
Even for young people. So
yeah, my youngest daughter is so into health.
Yeah.
and wellness.
And alcohol just doesn't go with that life,
Yeah. Mhm.
So I always tell them, like, it's such an easier time to get sober.
Yeah, it is, and there's so many alternatives now. So you can go to a party or dinner and have an NA wine or an NA, no, a mocktail.
Yeah.
I'm big on like mocktails and
I just had a party actually, kind of for my book, but I served cocktails and mocktails.
Mhm.
And I would say it was like half and half. Some people are our age and they're not alcoholics by any means, but they're just like, I got to get up tomorrow and go to the gym and I could care less.
Yeah. It's a good time to be sober, people. That's a good message.
It is. It is. It is. It is.
Oh, look, they turned the AC on for
I
us.
think they saw you fanning or something.
I saw the guy through the window. I was like, "It's so hot."
He's like stressed.
I've been hot all day though. Oh my gosh.
Oh, you,
Been a day.
you want to take your shirt off and really take this podcast to the.
I'm wearing a sweater vest over a shirt, people. This is not a smart choice. It's like 90 degrees outside,
Yes.
but I wanted to look cute.
You look cute, that's for sure. A lot of women reach midlife and realize they don't fully accept themselves. What has radical acceptance look like for you, and what are you still learning to accept?
Mm. A lot of my radical acceptance, I mean, honestly, probably all of it came through the messaging of Buddhist teachings.
Mm.
I don't call myself a Buddhist. I don't call myself any specific religion. I just take what works for me.
Mm-hmm.
But the messaging I got from his teachings was that not only do we need to have radical acceptance for everyone else, we have to have it for ourselves.
Mm.
And in finding that place of it is what it is,
Mm-hmm.
that's when you're able to decide, do I like what it is? Is what it is benefiting me, or is it harming me?
Right.
So for instance, holding on to anger after going through a divorce,
Mm-hmm.
which I held on to it as long as I could. And I tried to mask it, but it was coming up in all kinds of ways. And it was coming up by abusing myself. But once I realized the harm that it was doing to me and to my daughters specifically, I flipped the switch and said, no more. I can't live in that space. I don't want to be angry anymore. I want to forgive. I don't care what happened or who said what or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I just forgive because you know what? It's good for me.
Yes. Also, I feel like almost all like anxiety or whatever, like when you're in resistance to what is, you're in trouble.
I mean, you can't do anything about it.
Yes.
You just got to go with the flow.
Yeah.
And
Which feels unnatural
feels
sometimes
unnatural.
when it's especially like anger about something that's happened to you as you perceive, or, it's tough, but like you said, you're only harming yourself.
I've always called myself a realist. Like and that kind of plays into it is what it is. It's accept the now, accept what you're facing. And when you accept it, you're just more present to be able to decide what your next move is.
And then I think once you get further down the road, age-wise, like now you can see how your life went and why, and now you end up with Dave right? So it's like in it, it's hard to imagine. Like when my first husband left, I remember being like, oh my gosh, like I had two 2-year-olds, like how am I going to do this? And now I'm married to somebody who loves my kids a way that I don't think their father could have shown up for them this way. And so you can see, oh, okay, like we're already safe at home in bed. Like,
yeah, everything
things are.
It feels ridiculous to even say, but everything always works out the way it's supposed to.
You get a little more of that with age. Well, you have more experience of it happening.
And you can see in retrospect, look how much time in my life I wasted stressing and worrying and ruminating.
And wanting something to work out that I wouldn't have wanted now.
No, right.
But like thank goodness. I like what you said in the book. He said to you, you're going to thank me for this later.
That's exactly what I was thinking, yes. And nothing made me angrier than that statement.
Right. But he was so right.
It was so right. That I have to actually give him credit.
Yes.
For insight. Even if it wasn't insight making him say that, I have to give him credit because he saw something that I couldn't see.
Yes. Yeah, and that you weren't willing to see, right? And he was just like, showing you, whether you wanted to see it or not. Near the end of the book, you write, parenting isn't a job you fully master. It's a relationship that constantly changes. What have your daughters taught you about yourself? That's a loaded question. Well, it's like 8 million things. But is there one thing you could kind of,
Oh, gosh. What have my daughters, one thing my daughters have taught me. Um, it's so fun when you see your daughters or your children relaying messages that you gave to them.
yeah,
Like, they tell me that they're proud of me.
Hmm.
They tell me that they understand what has happened. Like there's something so deep and meaningful about that, and so fulfilling as a parent.
so nice.
Yeah, like
I did see the way your daughter looked at you. We're at Mom 2.0. I'm obsessed with like relationships and dynamics, and I work with teenagers, so I'm always like interested in, especially girls and their mom.
those relationships can be.
They can be tough, but also you can just see that she sees you, and it's so special.
Yeah, I think what's one of the most proud I am of anything is the way my girls treat me.
Yes. And that is a result of you probably showing yourself, and even like you'll say that, I was crying or I did this or that, but they saw you, they got to see you and then see you rise. And a lot of, I would say, your relationship with them now is a result of that stuff.
Yeah.
Because people who keep all of that from their kids,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's harder to develop like a real. That's like my daughter with the bloody nose. She knew. She saw me. I had cried plenty of times behind my glasses in the car. I was struggling. She was little. But I think she knew in her own little way, and we were in it together.
I know their souls are so tender and they have so much empathy and compassion.
So much.
And they end up kind of losing it or masking it or getting it taken from them. But we all come back to that.
Yes.
That like human kindness of relating to one another as humans who are all suffering. We're all struggling with one thing or another, or we have. And I think, again, with the teachings of Buddha, looking at other people and thinking, I see you suffering. I know you're suffering because I am suffering. And I wish for you to not suffer any longer. And really just putting that energy into them. It makes a huge difference.
It really does. And it makes your life so much more beautiful and meaningful.
And it's not like I yelled at somebody in the car the other day. Like there's still those moments when you lose your shit.
I lose my shit still with my kids. I mean, that's
But it's so rare now.
Yes.
And then you're like, oh, I'm so sorry. I fully acknowledge what just happened and it was my fault. And I'm sorry that happened. Please forgive me.
Yeah.
And then, you move on.
Yes. I think that's one of the best parenting tactics is to always apologize because you teach them also through that humility and, we're all doing our best.
Yeah. I think kids they can learn now earlier to recognize that their parents are making this up as we go. That
We're people.
We're all doing this for the first time.
I remember like realizing that about my dad. It was like a rude awakening and not one that I wanted. It was, let's find out Santa wasn't real. Like I was like, huh? Like he's having a hard time. Why? Like I just couldn't even.
Because parents are supposed to be perfect in our.
And you can kind of feel when you graduate to that with your kids. It's disappointing at first, I think. If a woman is listening in her 50s and feels like she's lost herself somewhere along the way, what's the first step towards finding her way back?
I have a lot of ideas in my mind.
That's the last question. You can say as many as you want.
One of the things that I think has had a huge impact on me, and I've seen it have a huge impact on other women that I've actually done it with, is looking in the mirror, looking past the body, looking past all of the, supposed imperfections that you see, and looking into your eyes, looking deep enough into your eyes that you can see the little person is the little girl inside of you, and recognize her, that she's standing there just waiting for you to come back to her, because we get so caught up, we're so busy, and we're doing all the things, and we forget about that young person that we're still in us.
Yeah.
She still needs an arm wrapped around her sometimes. She still needs to, have somebody that she knows she can count on. And when you've abandoned yourself in your life for whatever purpose, whatever reason, when you can come back to that little girl inside of you, there's a profound shift that happens within. Because one, naturally, we want to love her. We want to support her. She's scared. She's just waiting alone. So I started to think of that little girl, my little girl, as my child almost, and like give her the nurturing love that I would give my own children. And then the other thing is that when you accept that person, you can say to yourself in the mirror, I love you. I love you. And all the exterior fades away for that moment, that you have to really want this, and you have to really commit to the image in the mirror and like doing this work. It's work, it's practice.
Yes.
And once you start connecting with yourself on that deep kind of level, shift will happen, change will come.
Did the book help you with that?
The book helped me be able to articulate it and help me to be confident enough to share it with other people, because it was something that I had been working on for a long time. Because it's not overnight success with that, for sure.
But do you read the book back and feel proud of yourself?
Oh, yeah. I feel, proud, A, that I wrote a book, but B, that I look what all I've endured.
Yes.
When you do kind of take account of your life and what you lived and what you've been through, you feel like, whoa, look at her.
Yes.
Wow, she's impressive.
I used to feel a little embarrassed by it, like, almost like it's a kind of a sad story and like, oh, geez, like what a downer, So people tell me to write a book, I'd be like, who wants to read that? That's not a New York Times bestseller, people, But when I did write it and you see it in black and white, I had that experience where you're like, wow, like good for me,
Yeah.
Which is super cool.
It's the best feeling in the world. And because then you walk through life with your best friend with you all the time. The bestest friend you could ever have. Because she will never doubt you. She'll never abandon you. She will only love you unconditionally, kind of like a puppy dog.
Do you think you can get to that place without major struggle?
Sure. I think if you want it, you can get to it. I don't think you have to struggle and suffer so much as, some of us just have to go through the ringer. Because whatever reason, we're bullheaded, we're stubborn, we
Make
are
poor choices.
we make poor choices. We want to help other people more than ourselves. I think that if you are a person that doesn't struggle with those things and you just want
to be enlightened.
Yeah. Just
what a joy that would be. Oh my goodness. I can't even imagine not having me. We're gonna find my,
talk to my girls about it now all the time, and I feel like it's helping.
Yes.
It's helping them.
For sure.
And they reciprocated back to me. Like, sometimes my daughter Lola, who does my fashion with me, will see me like saying, oh, I don't like the way this looks on me and this and that and the other. Like, I'll start to go down that road of picking myself apart, and she'll be like, no, don't do that. I don't like it. And I'll think, okay, if you don't like it, I shouldn't be doing it, because it's not good for you. It's not good for me.
Yeah. My daughter's wild, and she'll be like, what are you, crazy girl? You look good. Like, what a joy it is too to grow up. Like, I feel like she was in more of the like strong. She wants to be strong. She's not trying to be skinny. Like, it's just such a healthier perspective on body.
God,
Yeah. I'm like, I grew up and my mom was into jazzercise. Like, everyone was trying to get skinny as they can be. She's like, oh, like you need to lift some weights. Like she's much more into being healthy, which is such a joy also to pass that down, or actually not pass down the opposite.
Right. And also that just the strength that they have that when they have children.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just going to keep getting better and better.
Yes. Yes. Well, thank you so much for doing that.
You're
I loved your
welcome.
book. I love what you're doing. I think it's super important. And, I'm just happy to be any small part of it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm so glad we met.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well, thanks.